Hello there YouTube and welcome to my guide to being a modern gent. Now, if you are lucky enough to get a girl back to your house or a guy back to your house, or if your parents pop over, you need to be able to impress them. It's not enough nowadays to make a pot noodle or a Pop-Tart and say, there you go. That is why Ben is here from Sorted Food. Now, Sorted Food is amazing. Ben is incredible. He cooks everything and he's a very good friend of mine. So, Ben, what are we doing? We need something that's impressive but easy to do.
Exactly that. So we're going to make our own pesto, but with a slight Greek twist. So some honey, some feta, some spinach, and then layer it with salmon.
Yep.
Put it in a phyllo parcel. Looks incredible. It's only a little party thing on a plate, but very simple.
It's something you can sort of pre-prepare and pop in the oven.
Yes, you can do it now and just stick it on a tray into the oven when your guests arrive.
Which is ideal, isn't it? I think.
Perfect.
Because you can sort of go out to a pub, find a girl and go, got some salmon parcels back at my house. Come with me.
And then you know you've got to come back with something.
Exactly. If you make
in
two,
the fridge, it's waiting to go.
If you make two, you can't just cook one of them, can you?
Or you could put it in the freezer. They freeze well too.
Okay. I like the look of this blender thing, which makes me think it's going to be easy. Am I right?
Really easy. Although if you haven't got one, you can do this by hand, just by sort of chopping up everything really small.
Right.
But with this, simple. So pesto, classic ingredients. We've got pine nuts, so they're going to go in there. Next up, you would normally put parmesan into a pesto, but we're going to change that up for some feta cheese.
Okay.
So that goes in there. As you can see, nothing fancy. It's
I much
really
prefer
easy.
feta as well to parmesan.
It's got the same kind of saltiness that parmesan has, so it works really well. Basil, like any good pesto, that's going to go in there. And we're also going to take spinach. Now this is obviously loads of nutrients in there, but great fresh flavours as well. Squeeze of honey for sweetness. And honey and feta, always a good combo. And plenty of salt and pepper. And that's it. How easy was that?
Really easy. Although we haven't seen it yet, so it might end up horribly wrong.
Clamp it on and blend it up. And then all you'll need to do is dribble in a little bit of oil as it goes, just so you get the right consistency.
Yeah.
And as soon as you're happy it's smooth, then you've got yourself a perfect pesto. So have a taste of that and tell me what you think, because that's the flavour that's going to surround our salmon in these parcels.
It's good. It's kind of nearly more mild than a lot of pestos.
It hasn't got raw garlic in it, so it hasn't got that kind of kick that garlic provides, but also good on a date.
Exactly,
You
that's what I was
want to
thinking.
avoid the garlic. So that's our pesto.
Good.
Done.
That's really easy, isn't it?
Well, so far you haven't done anything.
No.
So this is where you start getting involved.
Really easy for me.
You're going to wrap these up in phyllo pastry. Another really easy thing.
Right.
Some people are scared about pastry.
Yeah, I am.
This is phyllo. You buy it, okay, you can't, it's really difficult to make phyllo pastry, so buy the stuff. Have you ever wrapped a parcel before?
Like, I'm really good at wrapping like presents.
Well, there you go, you'll be absolutely fine with this. It's exactly the same process. I'm going to give you one sheet.
Okay.
Then no sellotape for your parcel, it's butter instead. So if you just give everything a kind
whole
of
thing?
a gentle brush over with melted butter, and then we're going to go with salmon. So fish, always quite an impressive choice for dinner.
I agree, yeah.
People are getting scared of it, but this is fresh salmon. You can get it from the supermarket, you can get it from your fishmonger. Already got the bones out, skinless, it's good to go. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything fancy. All I'm going to do is cut it in half. Now, once you're happy you've brushed all of that, a little bit of fish on there, and then put a bit of the pesto on top.
Just a good dollop.
A good dollop. Remember, the pesto is nicely seasoned, so that will do the job perfectly. Then we put our other bit of salmon on top, and more pesto.
More pesto.
And then the only thing that could be slightly tricky, but it's all about confidence, is rolling it up.
I'm confident.
Okay?
I'm a good roller.
Because it doesn't matter if it breaks at the start, because by the time you've rolled it up a few times, it's not a problem. So just flop over the top, and then push the whole thing that way. And it will sort of almost fall apart, but it's not a problem because the extra rolls will save it. Just keep the whole thing moving, like that.
Yeah.
Over
I see
again.
what you're saying.
So you're going to keep rolling it up. And then, before we get to the end, so stop there, now fold in the two sides.
Okay.
So these can come over. You'll need a little bit more butter as more glue.
Glue these bits down.
Yep. Then just keep rolling.
Okay.
And you want about 3 layers in total, so by the time you've rolled it right to the end, you'll have those 3 layers.
You've got this just right, because that is about 3 layers. Let me put a bit more butter on the
glue.
end. Okie dokie.
Beautiful. That's one fish parcel. So if you butter over the whole of that now, because that's what's going to go golden and crispy when you bake it. And you'll notice when we made the pesto, it's about personalisation.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you do want the ingredients that we use, then obviously you can get them on the website, but basically make it your own.
Which I have to say is actually one of my favourite things about cooking. I don't cook enough at home, but when I do like to sort of have a bit of a play around and use different ingredients and swap things around and just sort of, you know, the same dish you can make 3 or 4 times in different ways and it makes a big difference.
A recipe should only ever be kind of the structure, the backbone of that. It's about making it right for you and the person you're cooking it for.
Yeah.
And now that's our parcels done, trade up. We can also do some very simple wedges. This is all about keeping it simple.
Yep.
So you take a knife and 1 potato, go through the long end.
Am I going to kill myself here?
I hope not. Fingers back, take your time.
Oh. Because my fingers are fairly important to me. I need them for...
lots of things.
Most things.
The next bit is really easy. Put it on its flat edge.
Okay.
And you're going to cut into 3, but cut down in a V shape. So loads of wedges there, into a tray. And then oil, salt and pepper. Simple as that. So a little drizzle of that. And a generous season, salt and pepper again. You could put a little bit of chili powder on there. You could put some garlic salt. You can mix it up, make it personal, but for now, very simple, salt and pepper.
Yep.
Give them a shake. They'll need about 40 minutes.
Yep.
And they'll need about 20 minutes, both at 180 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So as long as you remember that.
Yeah, that's good to know,
really
because
easy.
I always undercook potato, and I put it at the same time as everything else, and then I end up with raw potato.
They will need, maybe a 15-minute head start
Okay.
before you add in these, but 180 degrees for both. And the final thing are asparagus. So literally 5 minutes before you're ready to eat, just put them into a hot pan. Okay, we've got a cast iron pan, perfect. But you can do it in any frying pan or under the grill, just to grill them off, and that's all it needs: salt, pepper, oil again.
Right, so potatoes in first.
Yep.
So cooking's like a very impressive thing to be able to do, isn't it?
Yes, because everyone can appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it plays to like every sense. So when you're eating food, you're looking at it, you're smelling it, you're tasting it, you've got the feel of it in your mouth. So it's a very, you can kind of approach it from all angles.
That's good.
And if
I've
you can
never thought of
impress
that.
on all angles, then it's always going to win.
Yeah, because mine often looks rubbish.
People eat with their eyes first, so work on that level. They're also going to smell it. As you're bringing it to the table, they want to be able to smell, which is why we've got the basil and the honey and the feta. It's amazing flavours, smells, textures with the crisp. You've kind of got to impress on every level. And now we can put in our fish parcels. Potatoes have had a head start. They'll need about 20-25 minutes till they go golden and crispy on top, and we'll finish it off with our asparagus just before eating.
Beautiful.
Everything in the oven, nearly ready to go. We've got a cast iron griddle heated up so we can start to cook our asparagus. A little bit of oil, salt and pepper, and they just go in there. Just keep moving. And those asparagus tips, literally 2 or 3 minutes, just turn them over. And then, James, you'll grab the salmon.
Look at them.
Now you see, slightly exploded, but that's not a problem. That's what home cooking's all about.
I like that it's exploded, actually.
That's because, and what's absolutely brilliant about this is the layers. Okay?
It smells incredible.
So, if you cut in with a really sharp knife, you should be able to get
Look at that.
those layers of salmon in there. Transfer that to a plate. And get some of those wedges out of the oven as well. Perfect. And then we can just stack those up. We've all played Jenga.
Oh, yeah, so that's chefy.
But really simple.
Yeah.
Doesn't take any more than that, but it looks great.
God, it does smell really, really amazing, actually.
There we go, playing to one of the senses already.
Yeah, it looks good too.
2.
I want to put my hands in it, but
Don't
it's too
touch
hot.
it just yet. And then we'll go for the taste.
Yeah.
And there we go, our asparagus as well. Smaller ones, just perfectly cooked. They say asparagus is an aphrodisiac as well.
Nice.
So
Good for when your parents come over then.
absolutely perfect. There we go, our Greek salmon parcel. All we have to do is try the other senses and you tell us what it's like.
Okay,
See
let's
what you
dig
think.
it. I'm going to go for this bit because it looks really juicy.
See if it's impressive.
I'm
enough for
concerned
you,
that it's
Jim.
going to be hotter than the sun. Very hot. Wow. Amazing though. That is absolutely, I'm not even joking, that's incredible. With this sort of thing, sometimes I find pesto's a bit sort of harsh with it, but because there's a honey in there.
The honey and the feta, so it's kind of creamy as well.
Even your potato wedges are amazing. Like, they're not like my potato wedges.
Simple food, done simply.
Really, really good. So, I feel like I'm well on my way to becoming the modern gentleman now. I've got a really good recipe here, because this is a foolproof recipe that looks impressive, but it's quite easy, so that is under my belt. Thank you so much, Ben, for helping me. Everyone subscribe to this channel and subscribe to this channel, leave us comments, and if you make this recipe, send us an Instagram to @DailyMixTV. We love you and we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Today we're going to make 3 different drinks. We're going to start off with a couple of non-alcoholic cocktails.
Which is good for me because I don't drink.
Oh, really?
It takes me to a bad place and I
Okay.
do things I regret and vomit.
Okay, well, we'll steer well away from the bad place
Good.
and do the 2 non-alcoholic ones.
Okay.
I'll be doing a watermelon Agua Fresca. After that, we're going to make a drink called a no rum red.